Best states to travel in the USA 2025. Did you know that in 2025, domestic tourism in the US is projected to hit a record, breaking $1.3 trillion 0 cents. That's more than the GDP of over 150 countries combined. It's no surprise, considering America's wild mix of landscapes, cultures, and cities that feel like their own worlds. But with 50 states to choose from, where should you go this year? Whether you're craving coastal escapes, desert serenity, or alpine adventures, we're counting down the best states to travel in 2025. Not just where to go, but why it matters now more than ever. And trust me, some of these may not be what you expect. Practically a curated experience for every type of traveler. Beyond its Instagram-worthy beaches and endless sunshine, Florida is gearing up for a tourism boom with the launch of Universal's Epic Universe theme park, expected to redefine theme park innovation. Miami is exploding with new art galleries, culinary events, and luxury beachfront developments that blend Latin flair with global glamour. Of course, there's the unpredictable hurricane season, which still casts a shadow, so travel insurance isn't optional, it's essential. Plus, the over-tourism in hotspots like Key West can make it feel like you're in a theme park line just to get a mojito. Alaska. Alaska in 2025 is nature's final frontier at its most untamed and unexpectedly accessible. Thanks to improved rail and cruise infrastructure, even first-time adventurers can dive into this state's otherworldly terrain without going full Bear Grylls. Think colossal glaciers calving into icy waters, grizzlies roaming the wild like it's their personal kingdom, and jaw-dropping auroras dancing over remote tundra. But let's be honest, this isn't Disney. Cell service is spotty at best, and a simple hike can become an accidental survival story if you're not prepared. With climate change altering glacier routes and wildlife patterns, timing and planning are crucial. Tennessee. Tennessee is America's soulful crossroads where country twang meets mountain air and barbecue is basically a religion. In 2025, Nashville continues its evolution from music mecca to cultural capital, hosting new international festivals, foodie tours, and even tech conferences. Meanwhile, the Great Smoky Mountains remain the most visited national park in the U.S., and for good reason. Those misty emerald ridges look like something out of a Tolkien novel. But peak seasons now see heavy overcrowding, and forget solitude if you're there during fall foliage season. Dollywood's expansion is adding a new family-friendly twist to the region, but with charm comes chaos, parking nightmares, and pricey Airbnb surges. Utah. Utah in 2025 is basically the Earth's highlight reel, with 5 national parks: Arches, Zion, Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, and Canyonlands. It's no wonder this state is a pilgrimage site for outdoor lovers. The landscape is like Mars got a makeover. Crimson cliffs, twisted spires, and canyons so deep you'll question reality. But the surge in outdoor tourism has raised concerns about trail erosion, overcrowding, and even vandalism of sacred native land. Zion especially can feel more like Disneyland than wilderness during peak season. That said, the state is investing heavily in sustainable tourism and offering lesser-known gems like Grand Staircase, Escalante, or Dead Horse Point. New York. New York is the state of reinvention. And in 2025, it's wearing a brand new face. Of course, you've got NYC doing NYC things, Broadway returns with global blockbusters, tech-forward museums like the revamped Med and MoMA, and neighborhoods like Williamsburg continuing to redefine hipster chic. But beyond the skyline, upstate New York is stealing some spotlight with eco-lodges in the Catskills, vineyard retreats in the Finger Lakes, and high-extend art colonies popping up in Hudson. What's the catch? It's expensive, fast-paced, and can be overwhelming for first-timers. And let's not forget the weather mood swings. One moment it's sunny, the next you're dodging a nor'easter. Arizona. Yeah, Arizona in 2025 is a sun-drenched masterpiece. One part mysticism, one part raw power. The Grand Canyon is still the headline act, but destinations like Sedona and Tucson are increasingly drawing spiritual seekers, hikers, and retirees in equal measure. What's new is the state's push toward dark sky tourism, offering surreal stargazing experiences you'll never forget. But here's the fine print. Extreme heat is a serious concern, especially during summer when temps can literally melt tires. Also, water scarcity remains a pressing issue, so conservation-minded travel is a must. California is like a greatest hits album that never stops adding tracks. In 2025, the Golden State is flexing all its muscles. Epic coastal drives on Highway 1, booming wine country expansions in Napa and Paso Robles, and a renaissance of creativity in cities like Los Angeles and San Diego. Yosemite and Big Sur are back on bucket lists after years of fire closures and crowd control issues, though wildfires and drought continue to shape how and when to visit. Add to that a tech-fueled innovation in ecotourism, solar-powered glamping domes, ocean cleanup volunteer tours, and VR-guided history walks in San Francisco. But here's the caveat. It's pricey, traffic can be soul-crushing, and the politics of homelessness and housing in big cities are real and visible. Still, if you want diversity in people, landscapes, experiences, California delivers like few others. Why? Why is it just a vacation? It's a vibe, a rhythm, a story told through waves, volcanoes, and aloha spirit. And in 2025, the islands are becoming more intentional than ever about sustainable tourism. The state now requires education on native culture and environmental responsibility before visiting certain sacred sites, and trust me, it's worth the homework. Hawaii and Maui still attract the lion's share of travelers, but quieter islands like Molokai and Lanai are emerging as retreats for those craving authenticity. But let's be honest, Hawaii comes with a price tag. Everything from groceries to gas can leave your wallet gasping. Plus, recent wildfires and over-tourism have led to some local resentment, so respect and mindfulness aren't just polite, they're essential. Colorado in 2025 is what happens when alpine beauty meets urban innovation. Whether you're skiing down powder-packed slopes in Aspen, hiking through the golden aspens of Telluride, or cycling around Boulder's green-laced roads, the state has nailed that rugged but refined vibe. Denver continues its rise as a foodie and culture hub, while smaller towns like Durango and Crested Butte give off strong, you belong here energy, even if you're just passing through. But altitude sickness is real, and if you come in swinging without hydrating or adjusting, your trip might turn into a nap fest. Wildfire risks and droughts remain issues, and outdoor etiquette is more important than ever due to surging trail use. Still, Colorado is where you go to reset. It's nature's version of a deep breath, offering scenery so majestic it can bring tears to your eyes. Or maybe that's just the wind. Pack layers, bring chapstick, and always say yes to breakfast burritos. Louisiana's that friend who shows up late to the party but steals the show. In 2025, the soul of this state is as intoxicating as its famed hurricanes. Yes, the drink and the storms. New Orleans remains the epicenter, with jazz spilling from French Quarter balconies, Creole dishes that should be illegal, and cultural fusions so rich they practically vibrate. But don't stop there. Lafayette, Baton Rouge, and the bayous are just as alive with music, food, and folklore. Flooding and climate change remain real challenges, and visitors should check weather conditions and seasonal risks before planning. Still, the resilience of the people here is unmatched. There's a pulse to Louisiana, a spiritual rhythm you don't just hear, but feel. Come with curiosity, leave with stories, and maybe, just maybe, a hangover and a new tattoo. The only real risk, you might never want to leave. Which state is calling your name this year? Drop your travel plans or dream destinations in the comments below. We love reading them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Safe travels!